بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. أحبتي في الله, dear audience and dear participant in this wonderful workshop. Our purpose from this series of workshops is our schools. Are they moving on or they are stand still? In the last episode we were discussing the importance of the vision of every school and how broad it represents the aims and the objectives that the people who own the school are having them and applying them. We ended up with three visions, to the best of my knowledge, or three statements from the Quran that can be a good vision for the school. One of them is وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا, oh Allah, increase me in knowledge, increase my knowledge. And the other one is ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And the third one was وابتغي فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنسى نصيبك من الدنيا. And we were discussing these three. Can we add anything else from the Quran before we discuss these three? Do you think that there is another verse in the Quran that would help us to take it as a vision? As we said, that the vision can be broad and the mission would be detailed. Yes, please.
فلولا نفر من كل فرقة منهم طائفة ليتفقهوا في الدين ولينذروا قومهم إذا رجعوا إليهم لعلهم يحذرون.
Okay, it's broad, but it talks about learning knowledge to warn people, right? Okay, which is wonderful. Is this included in anyone in the previous one that we mentioned? Yes, Zidni ilma. But the purpose of Zidni ilma is what? Is to warn others against the day of judgment, later life. Okay? So, and is this embedded in وَابْتَغِي فِيمَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ, or it's not? Is it embedded? It's not an easy job, by the way. Some companies and some organizations, it takes them sometimes few years to come up with a vision. And after a period of time, they go back and rechange it. It's not very easy, by the way. But we are luckier than them because we have the Quran, which they don't have. So we can get from the Quran the one. Okay, what else?
Surah Asr also can be added, taken as a vision.
Surah
Wal Asr innal insana lafi khusr.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. We can add this, of course, but we can, the end, it will never end. But this is, you're talking to people who don't understand what you understand. You have to be very clear. Even what we said, the ayat, we need to explain them to them. Okay, but in the beginning, if I say that our focus is on akhirah, and we take whatever we need to do in this dunya to help us reach there safely, we can make it, we can put it in very easy words, in simple words. Do you think the parents who brought your children to your school will keep them in this school based on this vision, if we take this vision as a model for us? Again, our focus is that to help our kids to reach paradise safely. And we'll take from whatever in this dunya that would help them to do that. Do you think, now be realistic, do you think if you have 400 students or 1,000 students in your school, and if you put the vision in this way, do you think they will keep their children in your school? Is it a tough question? I have no answer. The answer is in you, in your hand, is in your mouth.
The number would be less.
The number, why is that? Good.
Because
Why?
entry into paradise could be through many channels.
Okay, does this restrict the channel? It says that, okay, this is what, say that our purpose here, we prepare your kids to go to paradise. Okay, would you like to take your child to a school that prepares your children for paradise? I would take my children, I would take him to that, okay? And then, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. In addition to this, take whatever you need from this life, yeah.
Yeah, that would complete the picture.
Okay, this is the verse. We Muslims look at things differently. Our main focus is there. Because this life will end after 30 years, 60 years, 70 years, 100 years. It will end. No matter what you'll do, you are not going to delay this. It's going to end. It's a very short time that we're going to stay here. So we take whatever halal portion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to prepare ourselves. This is our goal. This is our focus. This is why we are here. We are worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want to access paradise. So we want to make it clear. Now, this is very general. Now, in the mission, based on this vision, the focus is on paradise in Akhirah, right? And little focus is on this. We want to put a mission based on this. Now, forget about your school. Now you have this vision. You want to put things. If this is a general vision for the school, this is too general. We need some specifics based on this. What would you do in your school? Show the parents some of the things that you are going to do in school that would fulfill this vision. So we need the mission now. Mission is defined as the group of steps or activities or action or tasks that you do in schools that would help you achieve this vision. Am I clear? So now we have the vision, and your task is that you divide it into steps to make the mission out of this. Can you work together in that? So tell the parents that, okay, something like, I will give you an ayah that may help you. For example, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. This can be something like in the mission. Don't necessarily use the ayat of the Quran now. I want you to write 4 bullet points as steps or as a mission that would execute or would help the students and the school to reach this vision. What are you going actually to do in the school? Am I clear? Seems that I'm not. Now we have this vision. The parents need to see something practical. What are you going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to reach this vision. It's a mental challenge. It's not an easy task, but we need to think in the light of that. Because the purpose of this is if we learn, if we get the outcome of this episode or session, that we may go back and try to change the vision if you see something missing in your vision. We want to change. We want to be. Is what you're hearing better than what you have written as a vision or mission or not? If not, so you are not going to change anything. But if you feel that you're learning something new that you didn't have in your mind when you made the vision and mission of the school, definitely this requires us to go back to improve our school.
First of all, the back of your mind, the vision should be always with you.
Okay, we agreed on a vision, for example. If you agree, as long as the vision that you have, it comprises these 2 elements, akhirah and dunya, right? That would be good, whatever wording you have done. But remember that the focus is not here, is not in dunya. This is the difference that I'm saying now. We are different from others, yes. So we need to show the people, we need to show other schools, our focus is not just here. We will take this as a means to reach there. So our focus really is there, is not here. Okay, if you think that this is different from the vision that you have, you may consider to change it, of course. We're saying this for all the audience who watches. We're not doing this for you. So we're not compelling you at all to go back and make changes. We're just opening your mind to things that may be better than what we have in our schools. Okay, now go back to mission. I'm trying to gain time to help you write some of the statements. Okay, yes?
In the learning process, child is learning, he should be action-oriented also. So like
should be
action-oriented. Whatever he learns, he should put it into action, practical action, so that that things automatically it gets imbibed in him and he achieves. He's in the.
Okay. In other words, if a parent would come to you and sees this vision, okay, well, you're preparing our children to reach paradise safely. How are you doing this? Tell me how.
We need to build into our children the love for Allah.
Okay.
By teaching, by bringing him closer to Allah.
Very good.
So teach them Quran.
Can you say it in one sentence? Oh, okay. Can we say it in one sentence? What would the sentence be to explain this to the parents?
Understanding of Quran.
Just the Quran, okay. Tawheed. Tawheed, okay.
Tarbiyah.
Okay. All these are good things, and we'll continue doing this, inshallah, after the break and come back on this.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm. رمضان المحسنين
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother in Islam, Abdurrahim Green, wishing all my brothers and sisters in Islam all over the world a blessed and fruitful Ramadan.
If there is Iman, along with it must come Al-Amal Al-Salih.
Yasir Fazaga.
True faith is based on knowledge. Knowledge which originates with God, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Dr. Bilal Phillips.
If all Muslims hold to this robe of Allah, no power, no force on earth can do anything to us.
Salim Al-Amri.
What causes faith to increase and decrease?
Broaden the horizons of your faith in Faith Horizons. Next on Peace TV.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We'll continue our episode about the vision. Now,
Jazakumullah khairan.
yes, please.
But most of the parents that we face them and they are involved in our school, they did not want sacrifice dunya for the akhirah. They want success in both of the world.
Okay, very good. Did what we say negate this? Is this verse negates what they want?
There is hadith, اعمل لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا وأعمل لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا.
Yes, I understand.
Work for your dunya as you are life forever.
Perfect your work in this dunya as if you are going to live forever, right? And the continuation is what?
وأعمل لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا.
This is exactly. So this is where the balance should be made with.
And you work for your akhirah
I know.
as you are dying
tomorrow. As if you are dying tomorrow. So this is where we need to draw the line here. Is it 50-50? Is it 70-30? Is it okay? Parents want dunya, but we are leaders. We are not selling the product to please the parents as much as we are trying to guide them to al-Islam, to guide them to the right path. Our job is to lead, is not to follow what they need. If everybody needs something, we're not going to try to address the needs of everybody now. We're telling that this is our product, this is what we think that our school would do, make it different. And there are hundreds of schools outside, just around the corner here. You can take your children to there. My school is based on this vision. Right now, let's explain it to them in the mission that they would feel very comfortable. For example, we'd say that to achieve the maximum, I wouldn't put it as the first bullet point, but I would say to reach the maximum amount of knowledge about this world and to be leaders, for example. Leaders in all aspects of life, in science, in politics, in everything. We can say this statement so they would be pleased with us. But before we say this statement, we'd say another statement that would say that the curriculum is built up on Islam, mainly. I would not take anything else from any other religion. I'm not selling other religion. I'm not selling other ideologies. I am selling the ideology of Islam. Secondly, I would say that I would prepare children to be the leaders in this world in all aspects of knowledge. Okay, another statement that we need to make clear for the parents. What would it be? Help me. So making something is very difficult. Writing something is not easy. Yes, please. So we said something now about Akhir, the curriculum would be Islamic-based curriculum. We said something that we will pay a lot of attention to the worldly sciences, if we can say this. In fact, this is not a good description from the Islamic perspective, but we will say it, that we'll make them the, how do you call it, the problem solvers, the highest achievers in all aspects of knowledge. Islamic and non-Islamic. Okay, what else? What else the parents you think that they need to see in your mission? It can be two statements, but it's better to make them a little bit more.
They will educate the others who are coming in the next generation.
They would be able to educate and lead others, other generations. Remember, this is a promise from you. When the children graduate, the parents would come to you and say, my children graduated, but they cannot even lead anyone in the house. If you say this, promise this, be sure that you have some courses or you have some features in the curriculum that would help you achieve this. For example, from the very beginning, the parents would come to a class and they would see their children is presenting to the other children. A 5th grade or a 3rd grade student would be presenting to the others, right? Something so they would know that he has the ability to present and to lead. Okay, so when you promise, and they will ask you, how are you going to do this? I will train them from as early as possible that to lead others, to lead their classmates, to lead other people, to have some projects in the community around them. You need to explain this to them. Okay, what else would you like to add? And I will end up with this. Yes, please.
Seems like the parents need to be going to a school first to understand the entire gist.
Do what?
To understand the entire gist of this. No,
of course.
Well,
of course.
That is just part of it. I think specifically we should mention about the teaching staff will be having the related expertise in their respective fields.
Yes.
Which should give a little more confidence to the parents coming in.
Oh, so you want to say that we will train the teachers to be capable of implementing these...
Handling the respective subjects.
Good, something good. I think this gives you a flavor of how you may make some changes in your school vision and mission so they would be able to... okay, they say that one good quality of leaders of the school, the principals and the assistants, when you meet with any student and ask the student, what is the vision of your school? He would say to you like that, exactly as if the principal is saying it. Are you doing this in the school? If I meet with 3 or 4 students from different grades and I ask them, what is the vision of your school? Would they spell it out as you spell it out? Or no? Yes. How many percent? Would I say that 100% of the students would do this?
Yes, 100%.
Of yours? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to visit your school. Okay.
Right from the beginning, when they join in our school, it is made very clear that they are going to be role models and they are going to be leaders.
Very good.
And it has also been told very clearly to the parents that inshallah, the management takes the responsibility of the children becoming the future Dai.
This is lovely. There's a difference between informing them and having them internalize it. It should be part of DND, of their DND. So in other words, they would speak on behalf of the principal. They say that we are proud to be in this school because this school's vision is such and such and such. And they share it with each other. Almost every day on the morning assembly, if there is a morning assembly, they can say something about it. So it becomes part of their life. This is our vision from school. When we graduate, we'll be able to do this. Because this is a good quality when we talk about leadership of the school. This is a good quality of leadership. They share their vision with the whole school, with the heads of departments, with the curriculum developers, with the teachers, and with the students. This is a good quality of a leader to share the vision. So everybody would be able to say the same thing, right? So because shared vision will help people to achieve that. If they know it and share it and they live it, this is something very important when we talk about leadership. Okay, now, this issue of vision and mission, which are considered promises from us to the parents, is linked with another concept. Perhaps it is not very clear in the minds of many people who are responsible for schools, which is the accountability. Now, the school did not achieve this. Is the school leadership accountable for what she is doing? Or they say that, okay, we are the owners of the school and we are free to do whatever we want and let happen what happens. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that in any school, any good school, there should be a board in that school that would stop the school and say, hey, you're not fulfilling the promise. You know the Islamic verse that it, وَقِفُوهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ مَسْئُولُونَ. Stop them. Yes, they are responsible. They have to show us that they are achieving this. There should be a board, whatever you call it, board of trustees, governing body, whatever you call it. There should be a board that would stop the school and would say, hey, now every month I will come to check whether you are doing this or not. You promised us to train the teachers to be able to implement this curriculum. But now the last 10 months, you didn't make any training shop or workshop for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? There should be somebody or some organization, right, that would come and make checks with the progress of the school. Do we have this in our school? We call them the critical friends. They are your friends. They are your supporters. But hey, they say no. They would come to you and say that you are not doing this. You promised that next year 80% of the students will pass by grade, such a grade in the IGCSE exam. Now, they are not doing this. Someone should stop you as leaders and would tell you, where are you going? You're not fulfilling what you've promised us. And that's why I made this episode under this title. Are we moving on? Are we improving? Are we still using some old models that we have lived? As you know, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu hired some person. His main job is at the end of the day, he would tell you, hey, Umar, you've done this, you've done this, you have done this, you've done. You shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done this. And as you know that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, yes, said this statement, حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. Yes, you have to hold yourself accountable before some others would hold you accountable. If we don't have this sense of quality assurance, you can call it this way, right? Some sort of supervision that can be selected by the school itself. You can select a couple of 2 teachers, don't select 2 weak teachers, huh? Select strong teachers who can spell out their opinion, who are brave to say their opinion, who are brave to tell you, no, what you're doing is not what we expected from you. What you're doing is not what you have promised us. You can select 2 parents, you can select 2 teachers, you can select even some students to be in that board. And you can select 1 person from outside this school to come and supervise your work. Are we doing this in our school? Silence implies. The answer not necessarily yes. You may have it in a different form. But the question is, are you willing to adopt it and to make some changes? And you will see the difference, the impact that it will have on you. Somebody will be telling you, do this and don't do this.
We have, but partly actually.
Yeah. This is what I assume. Partly. Is it effective? If it's not effective, I think we need to reconsider how to reorganize it to make it so powerful and it's effective. Because if it is not effective, it becomes useless. Do you have it in your school? And they say yes or no. No. Yeah, we know that it is no. And that's why I am here. I'm here to tell you some of the things that's happening in the world. That it has been happening in many countries for a long time. And they have achieved lots of progress, alhamdulillah. And we need to apply it. If there's something good happening here or there, and we can implement it, yes, in our countries. Now, I think 50 years ago, nobody on the earth was talking about quality assurance, right? Nobody was talking about it. In the last 10 years, everybody's talking about quality assurance. And it made big difference because some people are supervising others. So the gaps in any organization are becoming very, very small and short. I hope we benefit from this. Inshallah, we'll continue about other topics that are relevant to how to make our schools moving on effectively. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
سلام 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 سلام